One Fall WrestleCast. Word on the street is Mr. Brooks is not happy with his place in the universe that is AEW. And hey, did you know that Liv Morgan got Ruby Riott fired?
What?
And the neato fact of the day. We got some fun stuff.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
What's up, dudes?
What up, Boos?
You guys.
Hey, I'll tell you what's not up, Oos. The Usos aren't in Canada this week.
Nope, they are not in Canada.
The Mounties, eh?
They got problems.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They got some trouble. Got some trouble down the border.
Coming here, eh?
Yeah.
Apparently, the Usos were not allowed to cross the Canadian border this week because of Jimmy's DUI history.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's probably a smart idea for Canada, if we're being honest. Canada was probably like, look, we cannot have this guy driving around up here on our Canadian streets, eh? All drunk on our Canadian beer, eh? And smashing into all our Canadian poles, eh? Bunch of
hey.
I got time for this bullshit.
All I'm saying is,
bunch of
I
hosers.
really thought this was interesting. I could not believe this. I don't know why.
It's pretty interesting.
Like,
would you guys leave your brother?
Is that where you draw the line?
Like, if I was there, would you guys leave me? Because Jay could have went. It's just Jimmy's fault. Jay, I'm sure, could have went.
You mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what it is? It's because Naomi wasn't there. The Mounties were like, nah.
Wait, you gonna drive this car yourself? Nah.
Nah.
Turn your asses around. Get out of here. They were like, what? Come on, what up, Boost? What's going on? Although, if you watched on Smackdown, they reenacted that. They actually had Jimmy call Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn picked it up because Roman told him to, and he was like, Jay or whomever was on the phone was yelling at him, telling him, blah, 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 blah. He's like, apparently they're stuck at the border, they can't get in, blah blah blah, so they're not going to make it tonight. And Roman looked immediately like he needed to be acknowledged.
Look at that. Real life shit hitting the storyline. Man, it's almost like WWE's new and fresh. Right?
It's almost like they're not catering to the will of 177-year-old man anymore.
Do you know what I find most interesting? Before we hit record, little Dick Derek was actually watching WWE.
Hey, look, he's got probably at least a medium dick. Medium dick, Derek.
I mean, he's just a little guy.
But I mean, just proportionally. That's why it's got to be at least medium.
I hit about the average, I assume. You know, I don't go around measuring everybody's dicks.
You should measure from the underside.
It's like, this is Walton, this is Tom. There's like an example with balls down here, and it's just like a splatter.
There's like
up on my wall.
Bud, your dad's out, bud. He's out, right? So the other day, Tom, listen, the other day we were in a garage, we were working on the Jeep, right? And I said something to Derek, and he's like, you know what, man, why don't you just suck my dick? That was his comeback, right? And his dad was like, well, I'm out of here.
Well, I'm leaving now. Bye, boys.
It was great. It was
Derek.
great.
I feel like your dad's a guy that I would also enjoy.
Oh man, yeah, he'd love it. He's a good time. Yeah,
that sounds.
I had to explain to him a couple days later. I was like, that wasn't gay, right? Like, surely I would do better than Walt. And he's like, oh yeah, you're good.
Wait, what?
Wow, wow. Yeah, that possum out back really needed your love and attention. Down there in the holler, you know what I mean?
Oh man.
But so, I mean, did SmackDown suffer because the Usos weren't there, though? I think that's
No.
a big question by this.
So honestly, if we're being honest, because of the segments that existed, would it have been better for Roman's promo if they were there? Yes, because Roman came out by himself and just but Roman gave a great promo. It would have looked better, obviously, if he's got like a whole entourage with him. I feel like that there's a look to that. But Roman just out there by himself, I thought was fine. And the fact that they addressed why the Usos weren't there in the backstage segment earlier, like I really like the sort of weaving of the storytelling through the show that WWE tends to do and always kind of has done, but like they really seem to have been getting back into it, particularly over the last year or so. It's been very like backstage now. It's like it's not only a self-contained show, but it's like from week to week, kind of like just a continuation of what's been going on. So I liked how they've been weaving that, and this particularly was handled well. I thought were the Usos missed? No, because you knew why they weren't there, and they weren't technically not on the show. They just were represented in a different way.
Okay, I mean, I can.
And I liked it. I thought it was great.
It was a really nice excuse as well for Sami Zayn to get a spot, a more prominent spot on the show. Since that
I was just
going
going to
to
ask. I was just going to ask you that. And I'm glad that you went to it because I was going to ask you,
Sure.
like, how do you feel that Sami Zayn did fill in that spot?
Yeah, I think that worked out really well for him as far as that goes. Yeah,
I feel like Sami could fill any spot like that. Like they've got, and that's probably part of the reason why, guys like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, stuff like that, who don't, just because everything you give them, they do a really good job with. So it's like, it's kind of like the Dolph Ziggler effect almost, where it's just like, Jeffrey Penis, you're so good at what you do that I can insert you in any situation and it will work. So like to have those sort of switchblade guys to just kind of stick here. It's like, that's what gets them stuck outside of like main world title runs.
And that's exactly why Kevin Owens main evented WrestleMania. I mean, I said what I said.
Once.
Yeah. With the biggest star in the history of the business.
Goldberg?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. That was this year. I was like thinking back to like when Goldberg stole his title.
No, that was a Performance Center show, wasn't it?
It was?
Yeah. I don't know. It was fucking right
then.
Well, I don't
maybe
know.
if you'd send us notes before the show, we'd know. But
Goldberg.
Yeah, but I mean, those are the kind of guys that like we've been clamoring to see for the past X amount of years, right? Those guys
Honestly, I don't know that I want to see him in a main event show. I think I like Sami, especially in the role that he's in right now, because he's like, it's fan. Every time you see him, like you can hear the crowd like, wah! When you see Sami Zayn, because it's like he's not getting boos. He hasn't actually really gotten booed, even when he was like clearly a heel. But like everything he's done lately has really turned to gold. Pretty much everything since that feud with Bobby Lashley, that was dog shit. But everything else. I
mean, I enjoyed like Skull Sami Zayn back as original, like indie with the hat and the Skull music and Mighty Mighty Bastards or whatever that was. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Hey, boys, here's a good one for you. Feels so weird to actually want to watch Raw these days.
It does, doesn't it?
Dogs.
It's like I gotta see what's going on. I'm gonna put this on. It's like, oh man, I can't miss this. Because now Raw actually feels like
it matters again.
It matters. SmackDown. See, I feel like SmackDown's fine, but I feel like Triple H really focused on, all right, Raw has to be good.
Yeah,
I've not been compelled to adjust my DVR to begin recording SmackDown yet again. It's lower down as a priority that I have too many things recording, so most of the time it doesn't. Raw, though, I have moved it up in the sequence.
Raw. I feel like they've really utilized those 3 hours well. SmackDown is starting to feel like a show that's almost too short. As much as I hate to say that, it's just like there isn't enough wrestling in it. There's so much although this week they did have that 6-man elimination thing for the.
That's pretty good.
That was fun. I don't know that it was good because nobody really gets over in that, but I liked the result, and it was a fun match. So that was cool.
Yeah, I was telling Walt earlier in that whenever Sheamus came in, I was like, he always looks like he just came out the worst death match that he's ever been in, just due to the tone of his skin and the way that he bruises. It just looks so rough all the time.
There was not a drop of blood shed in that match, but Sheamus looked like there was all his blood was at the surface of his skin. The tag match that started out too, because Shawn Michaels announced it a little earlier in the day that it was going to be Toxic Attraction versus Natty, and that was man, I'll tell you what, JC Jane to me was the standout on that.
Really?
I thought JC Jane really looked really good, really looked really fluid, and really looked like she was having a good time.
Yeah, she's absolutely the better wrestler of the two.
Overall, that to me was the biggest shock, right? That they were not included in the initial thing. So, I mean, even whenever, they had made it a point that they were going to talk about the the tag team tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't include them in that. And I was just like, man, they're absolutely going to come and take over this tournament. And then boom, nowhere to be found. So I'm glad that they got their chance here, because I feel like they are in the right spot right now to be the tag team champions. And
I want to point out another thing in that match, particularly the Bayley versus Michael Cole feud is still alive and well.
Yeah.
However many years into this we are, all of them, whatever Bayley debuted, that feud is still like, because she sat behind him and just berated Michael Cole the entire time, and then they did their little thing where they kind of got involved in what was going on, because Bayley even talked trash on Sonya Deville. It was like, you didn't do more for the women's division while you had power. You tried to do everything for yourself. But she just laid it. It was this whole dynamic, everything that happened within that match, the storytelling, the match itself was just fine. It was a perfectly good match. Nothing to write home about, nothing. But everything surrounding the match, I felt like was such perfect pro wrestling that it was just like, mwah, So that to me was a great way to kick off SmackDown. It really had me excited for the rest of SmackDown as well. So there was that. Yes.
Sorry, I got sidetracked with work stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had talked about it earlier, right? So, did you see this shit where Shotzi Blackheart has deleted her Twitter again?
Yeah, I don't know why. What'd she do?
Well, so she her and Liv been going back and forth, right? And this is the second time that somebody has alluded that she got she got Ruby Soho fired.
But they're still good friends, I thought. They've since they're still buddy on Twitter, and they like each other's shit, and I saw that too, and then Shotzi deleted. I don't understand. And then Liv posted, here's a better green-haired wrestler because of the. So I don't know what all this is. I don't know. Honestly, I like Shotzi better when she had a tank and had a last name. But
I've never been a fan of this. It just doesn't do it for me. And now whatever this is, it's just not working at all.
You mean these Twitter scrabbles where it's like, you got Ruby fired or blah 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 blah.
Like that, and this character that she's playing, I don't. What are we doing here? She
needs to go away for a minute. Get a new coat of paint.
Yeah,
new paint coat.
Yeah. It's not clipping, or it's not clicking, man. It's just not happening.
And it's weird because I felt like before they brought her up to the main roster, it was working. She was getting over, but I feel like they brought her up too soon. They brought Tegan Nox with her, and that didn't make sense.
No.
It's Tegan Nox is she's not Australian. She's a Kiwi. She's from what's it called? And they fired Tegan Nox. They kept Shotzi, but she lost her tank and her last name. And I don't really know what her gimmick is now, other than she's angry.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
They should have kept Ember Moon. It took them about a month for Ember Moon and Shotzi to actually gel in NXT.
Yeah.
And whenever they brought them up, they dropped Ember Moon and put in Tegan Nox. and it made no sense. There was no chemistry there. They hadn't tagged previously. They were just brought up to the main brand, and Ramon's still in here on NXT.
Well, it was like, and the other thing too was like, it would have made sense if they were like both from Australia or something, because there's a lot of Australians on it. There were at the time, and there still are. Like Indy Hartwell is.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know, it would have made sense of like, oh well, let's bring the Aussies up together, or let's bring, but like, Shotzi's.
Yeah, so we can try to recreate the Iconics that we had, and we fucked that up too.
Exactly, but but Shotzi's an American, and Tegan Knox is like a kind of a clean cut, like I wear superhero pajamas. Like that wasn't. It just didn't. It had. There was no reason. Like, why were they partners? Why were they a tag team? This didn't make sense.
And now we look at it, and it's like, hey, why are you here?
I mean,
Death Dog says Shotzi used my friend's song for NXT theme, so I'm biased towards her. Well,
that's fine.
That's fine, but
she's just not. It's not her fault. So it's not for me to say that like.
She wasn't ready, man.
I don't think she was. I think if anything, I don't think Tegan Knox was ready either. She spent most of her time signed to WWE hurt.
I think we need to recognize too that everything that she knew was stripped away from her too. Whenever she got brought up to the main roster,
yeah, they took her tank. She didn't get to talk anymore. She didn't get to They were like on NXT
partner. There's no level of comfort.
Yeah, there was nothing. They just threw her on there, and they were like, "Here, you're in the main of it." Like it just didn't. Of all people, they kind of did her dirty. I wouldn't hate to see her kind of get like if they pull up Toxic Attraction and they pull her back down to NXT. To be a main event type player, like maybe she's the one. If Toxic Attraction, like the tag team, maybe she's the one to take the belt from Mandy Rose and kind of get that, because I think she's ready for that level, but she's not ready to ascend. And I feel like if they brought her back, if they're really invested in her, I feel like that's the way to get her done. But as far as her insinuating that Liv got Ruby Riott fired, that seems to me like nonsense.
I would think so, right? Like
it just doesn't it doesn't add up. Like it just doesn't add up.
And then she deleted her Twitter and said, "I'll be back when I have to bully another coworker." I just don't. What the fuck?
Take your Twitter ball, go on.
Oh, I don't know. All I know is the Liv Morgan title run can come to an end at any time, and I'd be perfectly okay.
Hey, you know what would be great?
The Castle,
yeah,
Shayna Baszler.
Yeah,
that's where it needs to be. And I really, really do hope that Triple H makes that happen, because it's what's fucking best for that title right now. I think Liv is just I can't, man. I can't.
I feel that way too. She's a fun underdog, but as the champ, she's not elevated herself to.
It's like it reminds me of Adam Hangman Page.
Yeah, it's very much that. She was Liv was a fun underdog, but she hasn't shed the whipping boy kind of.
She still needs the story to come to her. She can't take herself to the story. You know what I mean?
I do have to agree with you fellas on that, but I don't even think it's I think that Adam Page was better than that.
Oh yeah,
not that he was good, but I think Liv is even worse. It's been
absolutely.
Well, Adam Page could put on better matches. I think that's the
he can put on
Liv Morgan's ceiling of match quality, while she's certainly improved. Is not on the level of Adam Page. It's just not. And he was the same way with, story needed to come to him. He couldn't come to the story. And that was, certainly showed in his title run.
Agree more.
Yeah, Liv. It's just,
it's not good. It's just
I was happy to see her win it, but I don't think that her title run has been
a feel-good moment. It was the payoff that everybody was waiting for, kind of like Kofi Mania, right? Except Kofi Mania was fucking good after the fact.
For a minute.
Well, they took Ronda out of the whole thing on this fake-ass, she's suspended gimmick and all this, just to move her away from the title for a few weeks so that Liv can have a moment here without a real contender. We all know that Ronda would beat the fucking shit out of her.
Jackie,
so we can't have that actually happen. What?
Keep going.
Took Ronda out of the picture, and then
and then now you expect there to be some sort of story, and we're gonna slowly bring Ronda back because now she's beating up security guards, blah 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 blah.
And cops,
cops. It doesn't make sense. Why are you gonna keep her away from the championship this entire time whenever it's obvious that Liv can't handle her? That's fine.
Liv's not a good
The
champ.
moment where we had
Ronda's not a
champion
good
for a few weeks.
Ronda's not a good champ either. And I think
she's a more believable champ.
Yeah, but like her title runs, she's not a great champ. She needs
Right.
better opponents.
But Liv cannot defend against her, is what I'm trying to say. It looks.
I don't think Liv's going to be able to.
ridiculous.
I don't think Liv's going to be able to defend against Shayna. I think
no. If she wins,
No.
it's gonna be very, very unbelievable.
I think the writing's on the wall, especially after Friday. How Shayna came out and was like, "I want to break your arm so bad, but I'm going to wait." Like that. That to me is that's the old Shayna. That's Shayna 2 times. You know, when she was the NXT Women's Champion and she fucking ran that place. You turned on. At that point in time, like there were a couple people I was turning on NXT to watch. It was Shayna Baszler. It was Tommaso Ciampa. She
was so good that I used to get so fucking pissed whenever she was on TV. It's like, oh, fuck this again. Like that's how fucking good she was at her
She's
job.
gonna bury somebody else.
You know what I mean? Like
she's gonna murder somebody else. You would get immediately like if it was clearly like a not quite contender. Shayna's gonna kill you.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, did you know that the reason that WWE made the push to go back to TV 14 was that they didn't have to edit the crowd chants?
That makes sense, actually.
So does that mean that they're going to mic the crowd differently now, and we're actually going to hear the crowd whenever they're into it? Like, you know, because
I don't even know that it'd be a matter of miking them differently. I'm sure they've been mic'd this entire time. You wouldn't need to change that. You could just turn a little knob and actually let it happen.
Under movie, Movie Mac over here, like he was more worried about what the television show looked like. Do you know what I mean? Like Triple H has said it. He's more concerned about what the pro wrestling looks like. Yeah. So like, are they gonna mic the crowd differently for the television show so that it feels like the crowd is actually involved at a WWE event? Like, you know, a crowd is lit at a WWE event whenever you can hear them on Monday Night Raw.
Well, even whenever we've went to AEW shows live, guys, like whenever you're there, we've had a great time and it's been freaking loud.
We talk about it all
it just doesn't come through
it
the same way on
absolutely comes
TV.
through the same way on TV when you watch a Dynamite crowd and you're in it. I disagree with that statement.
So here I have actually thoughts on this because particularly the Dynamite crowd, I find the Dynamite crowd to be more lewd. I don't want to hear in WWE. I mean, I don't want to hear it in AEW either. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck. Like, I'd like to take my son to this. You know, and I've, you know, if Jungle Boy's coming out with Christian as a pussy shirts on, there's a level, right? There's a threshold.
See, Derek's chuckling, but I feel you, pal. But I also
I want to take my kids.
I'm aware of the badge. Apparently, I'm a bad father. I'm a bad
father. I want
to
take my kids to these
I get what Tom's saying. Like, I'm with you, bud. But
it should.
That's not the audience that AEW caters to.
It's certainly not.
If you know, we want our kids to enjoy good pro wrestling. Like,
they have to watch WWE, and that's just what it is. So, like, but that's the kind of like, you know, that's really what WWE or AEW is contending with, is that like they're looking for TV numbers, but these people are like they're catering to people who are way more likely to just like steal the show on the internet and watch it, or like steal a live feed on the internet that doesn't count towards anything through a VPN, and it's, you know, they're shooting themselves in the. I didn't see what Dynamite's numbers were this week, but I didn't see any fanfare that they finally hit it over.
It's funny that you bring that up. I don't know. I don't know what the number is, but I have noticed that we've shied away from saying the number one cable television show on Wednesday nights.
Oh, is it not that? Ooh, is it
now
not that
saying
anymore?
We're the number one show on cable.
Oof. Because they're not. Oof. Okay. Oof.
So there.
Because cable is not. It doesn't count Fox and CBS, NBC, ABC.
It's not as much. It's not broadcast.
It's not broadcast television.
So
oof. You go ahead. Move on with your topic. I'm actually going to look up the Dynamite.
Okay.
Ratings.
Well, I mean, there. So Dan put over here in the chat, and it was on my list of things to bring up. Jeff Jarrett's been released from his new WWE position.
Oh, already?
Well, this leads a
Oh,
lot
what? He was
to
vice
to
president
begin.
of live shows, live
Yes,
production.
yeah, he was an executive.
Huh.
But word on the street is that Ric Flair's last match was the start of something more elaborate.
Oh no.
Which means it sounds like to me Jeff Jarrett and Conrad Thompson are about to start a fucking wrestling promotion.
No.
957,000 viewers, which is down from 972,000 the week before. So they lost viewership again on Dynamite. I mean, it's. I hate to say that because, but you're right. It went to must-see TV for a little while, and now it's
Well, that's because it's fucking WCW all over again because there's
Really
too
is.
many fucking Chiefs and not enough Indians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's running around with a goddamn opinion, and Tony Khan's losing his fucking mind backstage, and nobody understands why.
And
right?
everybody's got, and there's 30 titles. There's 3 hours of television, and there's 30 titles. There's people just walking out with lots of belts. And it's
nobody understands what's going on because everybody's too busy trying to get themselves over instead of trying to get the company over. And we've run into this problem where Tony Khan has become an irritable fuck that nobody wants to be around. Right?
I might be an irritable fuck if I was Tony Khan too.
In the meantime, his show's gone down the shitter, and people are like, it's still the greatest fucking thing on television. Any fucking wrestling fan that actually sits down and watches wrestling and enjoys watching wrestling can see that the goddamn show has gone downhill. Okay. I don't give a shit that it's not my cup of tea. Right. Some of that shit that they do, I'm not into. And Derek, I know you're fucking loading up something up there, and I'm probably going to shut you up. Okay. But I recognize real good wrestling, and they ain't had it.
Well, they've had it before. That's the problem, is they've had good wrestling before. It's just they got away from things that were good. Right. And now all we keep seeing is things that are bad. And it's well, we got to bleed. They've overdone everything. It's we can bleed, and the other show can't. And it's but if everybody bleeds on your show, nobody gives a shit. In fact, we're just going to talk about are you guys getting tetanus shots, or is everybody okay? Because there's bloodborne diseases. There's this monkeypox thing too. I'd hate for you guys to have a monkeypox outbreak because none of you can get fucking razor blades out of your pockets. It's ridiculous, right?
Mouth. They got to keep it classy, pal.
Whatever. Anyway. So I'd hate for them to have a monkeypox outbreak because they gotta bleed the shit everywhere. But here we sit in 2022
talking about monkeypox outbreak and fucking bad pro wrestling. What the fuck?
It's that. Hey, that dude. You wait. Okay, there's gonna be a monkeypox outbreak in AEW, and you're gonna be like, Tom, I can't believe you fucking called it. It was the dumbest shit you ever said, and somehow you called it. I don't even understand.
Derek, please, you can't, and nothing you're gonna say right now is gonna be any more stupid than fucking monkeypox outbreak. So please defend the almighty.
I have nothing to defend, fellas, here lately. I have been the most ardent and statuesque, fucking inspirational,
stalwart defender,
commentator for AEW. I've been a stalwart fan.
You have been.
Love it.
Kudos
I
to
bought
you.
the damn deathmatch explosion blowjob t-shirt before I realized how bad it sucked.
The sparkler t-shirt.
But boys, one of y'all, and I'm thinking it's Walt, I'm not sure whoever said that it was watching WCW. And you're watching it go down the tracks. It's almost to this point that we're watching WCW in fast forward.
Yeah,
because
right. It's
we have
grown off the rails
roster, and we've grown all these awesome groups that we could have used.
She walked in there and chose violence.
So I think what Derek was trying to say while he's recovering is that they've grown the roster to the point where they can't even continue a storyline.
It's too big
week to week. And quite frankly, it's bloated, and so it's so bloated, and there's no stories. not only are there no stories, like even when they come out, so we said 2 weeks ago, because I thought it was a decent show. Maybe it was even 3 weeks ago. Anyway, not important. I thought it was a decent show because Adam Cole came out, right? They turned on the Bucks. Big deal, right? That was a big deal. And, you know, we've since seen the Bucks. We've seen Kenny Omega come back. But you know what? We haven't got any more seeds in that story of Adam Cole and his boys.
Bro, they're giving away Moxley versus CM Punk on fucking free television.
Yeah, I mean, they did. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Fuck.
That was the first thing I thought when that was announced.
And somebody today said, well, it's because they've got like really big plans for All Out. What's bigger than Punk and Moxley?
If that's the case, then you have 2 weeks max to promo for All Out. That's stupid.
That's the fucking shit, right? Like,
but it's going to be a shit finish this time around. It's not going to be a real finish this time. You're going to have it on TV, but it's not going to have a finish on TV.
So fucking, All Out.
You're full of shit. All Out's going to have
I need a minute, Mom. Oh, yeah.
All right. To be fair, the AEW fanboys were literally calling Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta. Oh, this is the next Stone Cold and The Rock. Even Derek laughed at that. What is wrong? What is wrong with these people? Because these are the people they're catering to, and Daniel Garcia versus that's the next Stone Cold and The Rock. Really, Daniel Garcia, the most boring guy in every room he's ever been in his life, and fucking Wheeler Yuta, who cuts his own goddamn hair. Those guys are Stone Cold and The Rock. Did anybody watch Stone Cold and The Rock, or was it just me? Am I the only one that
I was there?
We were there. I was fucking there. Okay,
we were all there.
Calling each other Rudy Poo. Like, can I don't even know. What does Daniel Garcia sound like? I can't think of his voice. It's some nonchalant jabroni voice. Like, he gets interrupted by Chris Jericho while he wears a shitty hat and dresses like a Backstreet Boy, and fucking Wheeler Yuta cuts his own goddamn hair and like isn't there a lot and has the worst blade job in wrestling because the man cut his face off for fuck's sake. It sprayed like
he used a knife.
He used a big knife, but no, it's bigger than that. It's a big knife. It's a big knife. Just what the fuck? Anyway.
Hey, so listen.
But wait. Daniel Garcia is the Dragon Slayer. I forgot. And he and Bryan Danielson put on a match of guys who can wrestle. Like, he can wrestle fine, but he's still the most boring human in the room. Good Christ. How many guys I could go to a college campus right now and find 30 guys that looked like Daniel Garcia. Who the fuck is Daniel Garcia? I couldn't pick him out of a lineup against
the Dragon Slayer.
Oh, okay, great. I hope he has a fucking t-shirt so I can figure out who he is.
It's pretty fucking dope, too.
Oh, good. So I hope he wears it so I can see who he is. Maybe the man needs like a beard or like a mohawk or like a dick drawn on his face or something. I don't know. He needs something to stand out from the crowd because right now he looks like jabroni Chad Chooch who... I hang out and throw football on college campuses. Hey, I mean, he's probably like 35. I don't even fucking know.
So since I got you going, did you see this fucking guy at the AEW show on fucking Wednesday with the sign that said, "I missed my child being born for AEW"?
Yeah,
you guys see this fucking
What's wrong with this dude? What is wrong with this guy? Like,
my child was being born while Raw was on TV. In the delivery room.
I mean, but we're sorry that the fucking pig that you fucked in the backyard gave birth to them little piglets, okay? And you weren't there for it. Sorry.
She apparently has horrible timing.
You're not talking to you're talking to the guy at AEW?
Yeah.
Because that guy, man, how do you man, I hope his wife or girlfriend stabs him.
Listen, I think that I speak for all three of us in saying that there is nothing that I would rather do than watch my child be born.
Really, I thought that was gross. I don't really.
No, it was horrifying. But
I'm
just saying, like, being there to
I was glad to be there, but like,
know
I
what
was
I
glad
mean?
it was
Yeah,
over.
horrified.
That's for fucking
It's
sure.
horrific.
Yeah, I was glad it was over. That's for sure. They asked me, they're like, do you want to cut the umbilical cord? And they hand you this fucking bloody stick.
Yeah.
They're like,
Does
do you want
that
to cut
get
this? I'm like, thank God. So a dear friend of mine and my wife's, Christy, I won't mention her last name. A dear friend, she was there for both. Like she has aspirations of being a midwife, and she's like my wife's best friend ever. And every time they're like, "You want to cut the umbilical cord?" For both times, for both my kids, she was in the room with me. God bless her. They're like, "You want to cut this?" I'm like, "No." And Christy's like, "I'll do it," and I'm like, "She can do it."
Oh, shit.
I love Christy so much. She loves my kids. I love her kids. We're fantastic humans. She's a fantastic
boom.
person.
Hey, shout out to Christy, pal. Hey, Jackie Melinda just said something that I'm glad I want to talk about. They need to hire Kevin Dunn for creative in AEW since Kevin Dunn will not have a job in a few months. WWE is going to let him go. Actually, we talked about
What
that a couple weeks ago.
Point.
Doesn't really seem like that's going to be the case, right?
Yeah,
so
Triple H seems to like him.
Kevin Dunn is not necessarily a creative mind. He is a television producer, so he's creative in that space, right? So, I mean, Kevin Dunn would absolutely help AEW's television show, right? But we discussed this a couple of weeks ago.
They keep zooming in on people blading, and he would fix that.
The thing is, he's had many hours in the production trucks, so he's well more useful to WWE than they are to release him and let him go somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, elsewhere.
And two, think about it from this perspective. You know, all of this new like creative changes in WWE. You know, maybe Kevin Dunn feels good too because he gets to be a little bit more creative in how he produces a television show. I know I've been seeing some different camera angles and some different shots that we might not normally see under Vince McMahon. So maybe Triple H is taking the handcuffs off of Kevin Dunn a little bit too, and it's like, hey man, just produce me a great TV show.
So, and I think that he's been doing that. I think you would. I feel like there's still too many cuts. I think that's a Kevin Dunn thing. Too many cuts.
I would agree with that.
There's too many cuts, but man, do they always seem to have the best angle. Even if like Kevin Dunn seems to have an eye for like, oh shit, if shit's going a little bit sideways, he seems to be able to pull the angle just enough on the camera to make it look good, right? So that to me seems really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. Like, you know, the show feels a little bit less herky jerky, but still herky jerky because I think, like you said, that is a Kevin Dunn thing.
Yeah. That's a Kevin
Dunn. I think that it's less so because I think that maybe, you know, that was a Vince thing. Oh, you got to get here, you got to get here, you got to get here all the time. And Kevin Dunn just got used to that. So I don't feel that it's as herky jerky. Still is, but at least like you said, you know, in AEW they zoom in on guys using the blade.
Like, they'll switch camera angles when they notice it, but it's the camera angle that's actually closer and zoomed in, and it's like, oh, that's how you cut your face with your hand like that. Great, good work.
So did you see the Royal Rumble list that got leaked today?
I saw that it got leaked. I didn't look at. So I've been trying valiantly to not see like super early leaked stuff. I've been trying real hard to like not see. Hey, we know what future plans. If future plans are revealed, I'm not clicking on that because I've.
Well, I've got the full 30 here. I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna start running them down.
Go for it.
Kevin Owens comes out at number 1. Okay,
fun.
Number 2 is Emmanuel. Number 3 is Edgar. Number 4 is Edwin. Number 5 is Ernie 3. Number 6 is Eli. Number 7 is Edmund. Number 8 is Evan.
You're lying.
Number 9 is Eric.
Right, I'm done.
No, this guy, and then Ezekiel is number 30. So
great. That's a busy night.
Funny, bro.
That's like, a busy night. What a busy night for Elias.
I popped on the fucking.
What a busy night for Elias.
Kevin Nash needs to be hired by AEW for creative. I don't think Kevin Nash wants anything to do with AEW. He's actually been quite critical of the AEW product.
He's been very positive of. I mean, obviously, he and Triple H are boys. Like they're thick as thieves. Like in person, like they're like it's like hit them and Shawn Michaels are like those are the guys.
It's the Click.
It's the Click. Oh, and Razor, but obviously Razor, R.I.P. But still, yeah. So he's been very, very happy with what his boy Triple H has been doing in WWE, and very critical of what AEW has been producing lately. Honestly, rightfully so. I mean, it's pretty easy to see that like their honeymoon period is over, and they are in a weird stumble while WWE is surging. Like
Yes.
Raw hasn't seen 2 million viewers in years, but now they're getting it consistently, and it's like holy shit! Like that's a jump of like that's a huge jump for them. They went from like 1.5, 1.6 million. They were at 1.2 at one point. Like
Cody Rhodes, pal.
Cody's been hurt for months. They still hit 2 million.
That uptick started when Cody came back.
So we're saying Cody's got the magic. He's the magic man.
You know, I mean, he put the eyes on the product, and you know, back on that product. I mean,
truth be told, I mean, he put the eyes on. He put the eyes on AEW
before he came back, bud. Like none of us.
I mean, I was watching, but like at least one. I watch either Raw or SmackDown. I watched one every week. But still, you're right. I mean, but at the same time, like I don't know. I mean, you're right. Because his leave of AEW really like lost eyes too from them. So
we kind of glossed over it, and I want to revisit it. But you know, do you think there's any fire behind this smoke that Jeff Jarrett and Conrad are going to start a wrestling promotion?
I don't know what it would look like. I mean, I guess they would almost have to absorb like GCW or something.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I could see it being like the ultimate like indie, you know, trying to do what AEW did, but maybe not fucking it up.
I mean, I don't know if they got. I mean, I guess Conrad maybe has all that loan money. Conrad could put everybody's mortgages into.
This motherfucker out here running the WrestleMania meet and greet events, like
he could put everybody's mortgages into that. But God, I don't know. Obviously Jeff Jarrett's been that guy before. And TNA's still a thing. It was bigger than AEW's ever been. I mean, it's not bigger now, but like it was at its height bigger than AEW's ever been.
Hot take.
I mean, it just was. I mean, those are facts. Those are numbers. That's not, you can't dispute that. Like fucking Hulk Hogan and Sting and Booker T, and they ran some shit, and like we're getting 2 or 3 million viewers a week. I mean, this was back when like, you know, people watched TV and had cable, but still, I mean, they were getting them numbers, you know. Eric Bischoff even said when AEW was like, God, if we'd have got 1 million views, they'd have been ready to fire us. They'd been ready to cancel his show at 1 million views. Good Christ. But yeah, they were getting 3-4 million views a week. And that was, you know, it was a different era, it was a different time. I get it. Like I said, I don't watch cable. Fuck. I probably don't even count. I probably don't even count towards WWE numbers or whatever else because I put it on the app.
Yeah.
Why would I pay for a cable box $10 a month to watch? Like that's dumb. That just feels real dumb. All of my TVs are smart, and I paid for all of them with cat. Like I could just make it happen on the TV.
Yeah, just make it. You know,
I watch 2 shows, 2 shows a week.
You know, and I don't want to come in here week after week after week and continue to just let Triple H just fucking smack off my chin, right? But like, I feel like he's doing a lot of things that we as fans have been calling for, right? Like he's elevating the fucking titles. Like,
I will.
Did you know?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you know that the Intercontinental Championship has not been defended on a pay-per-view event since WrestleMania at the Performance Center.
That doesn't shock me, but I didn't know that. But yeah, it sure seems like the Intercontinental Champion, which used to be like probably the most interesting belt in WWE because it changed hands relatively often, but was always changing hands of like fantastic, like superstars, like fantastic, like the guy who.
Are you talking like post Miz this last round?
Like
when they went to the
I'm
new.
talking like, no. I'm talking like, So I guess it has its ebbs and flows, but so like during the Attitude Era, obviously it was a huge. The Intercontinental Championship was a huge deal. European Championship, not so much. Intercontinental Championship, huge deal.
The Rock carried it. Stone Cold carried it. Owen Hart was an IC champion. Ken Shamrock was an IC champion. Edge was an IC champion.
Jericho multiple times. Jericho had great feuds with the IC title. China.
It was important in the Attitude Era.
Yeah, super important. And I felt like there was a point in time, probably pre-pandemic, where it became important again because there was Finn Balor, Dolph Ziggler, and Seth Rollins who were
and Roman Reigns. You've got to put Roman Reigns in that.
Roman actually maybe had before his current run, his IC title run may have been his best run prior to his current.
It was absolutely his best run with the championship as that character.
Yes. So I mean, and then the Miz had some really good runs with it as well. No, Gunther, this seems to be like another, because it seems that, like I said, ebbs and flows. It's about to ebb again. Like we're about to have a peak again with Gunther, because good God, is this man amazing.
Did you see the reports that Vince was going to bury him?
I'm glad they didn't. Yeah, I did see that. It didn't seem like a thing. I don't know who saved him or how it got saved, because
what a damn shame that would have been.
Oh my God, that would have been a tragedy. Because this man is tremendous. Like this guy is a generational talent. Like I understand that, like as an American, he's never going to reach the heights of like a Roman Reigns necessarily. But good God, I mean, he's gonna he's gonna get up there, and I wouldn't be shocked if he has a world title run. Truth be told, I don't think he'll get 10 of them, but he'll certainly get 1 or 2. And he's the kind of guy that's just like, man, when he talks, you're like, holy shit, I want to listen. Yeah. But mostly it's just a stoic, like, it's just his presence.
He's got a presence, man.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, so Derek, you're sitting there looking kind of stupid, and I'm glad to see that you're back, right? Because I heard some thunder, and I got really concerned for your hamster outside that runs your whole internet thing. So I'm glad to see that you're back.
I'm glad the hamster's okay. I am an animal lover.
I went ahead and put the storm blanket on him.
Yes. Okay. Good boy. Good man.
If not, I mean, the replacement couldn't be any worse than I could ever imagine at this point. So
I mean,
he's been with me for about 5 years. I mean, I like him. His name's Tony. He's a sweet hamster, but
does Sid fit in the wheel?
I'm ready for one of those fiber hamsters.
Yeah. One of them electricity resistant motherfucker.
So Derek, while you were gone, all right, I let Tom in on a little secret, a little fun fact, and I want to get your take on it. Did you know that the Intercontinental Championship has not been defended on a pay-per-view since the WrestleMania at the Performance Center at the beginning of the pandemic?
No. So you're just saying on a pay-per-view, though, not on a
a
television show.
On a pay-per-view.
So you're telling me there's no prestige about it, and
well, what I had said to lead into that fun fact was I really like the fact that Triple H has put an emphasis on the mid-card titles and elevating them back to prominence.
And that's what I was going to move to. Is it seems like here the last few weeks we've really put an emphasis on we are going to showcase these titles. especially the Intercontinental title.
I mean, they're so
Which
cool.
I can't remember at this point who is holding it or who, what promo it was that I watched. I've watched so much lately.
It's Gunther.
Ah, that's right. I remember actually mentioning to you guys that I miss his old physique.
Shit out of fools right now.
I mean, he's still believable. I love him, but I miss his old physique. I do.
Man, no, I think he looks amazing. He is slapping the shit out of fools.
Yeah.
And good Christ, does he look like he looks intimidating? He's one of those guys when he stands there and does the like, I'm like, fuck. Okay, I don't want to fuck that guy. That's not a guy that I'm here to.
By all accounts, he's actually a very sweet man.
Okay, apparently he's like one of the nicest dudes ever, and like his backstage, literally like he's a locker room favorite. He's apparently
he's kind of like Walt. Like he looks like an asshole, but he's all right.
He's a locker room favorite. Well, I can attest that Walt's a locker room favorite because I've been
Absolutely.
I mean, we were soccer players. We didn't get to like use the locker room.
He's a back of the house favorite in restaurants. So
listen,
same thing.
Here's what what the fuck was this hit segment on Friday?
Oh my god, I'm so okay. I was getting on that. That was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like that happened, and I was like, "Oh, Hit Row's back," and then they like got to have a music video live, and I was like, "This is really terrible," and it kept going, and I was like, "Oh boy."
You guys hated that?
Oh, I hated it. I was like, "Ooh, this is bad." Oh boy. Oh boy, and it kept going. And
they did the same thing in NXT, and I was critical of it then.
And I was like, this can't be that long, right? It got 3+ minutes, and I'm like, they're not even good at this. This isn't.
No, dude, it wasn't that.
This is really bad.
Listen, I understand that there's a segment of the audience
there and say
disrespect
the name of R-Truth because he's amazing, but that his song was better, really?
But like,
what's up?
Yeah, no.
It took like 30 seconds and a blunt to write that.
No, because he only got to do it for 30 seconds. Like that's the difference. Even that was like kind of like
down the
whatever.
ramp. What's up? Getting in the ring. What's up?
Yeah, it was like
gonna climb the ropes. What's up?
It was very. It was like
my hands. What's up?
It was like he got this. This went a full 3 minutes, and like there was lyrics,
but it wasn't that bad.
Oh,
it was not that bad.
Oh boy,
gentlemen,
Two Chainz $3 was actually pretty good, or whatever his name is.
No, his name is $3.
Gentlemen.
Ooh,
listen, I understand that there's a segment of the audience that enjoys Hit Row, right? They're young, they're hip.
Hit Row. I like Hit Row.
I get that.
Yeah, I don't hate this at all. I
Wrestling
hate
community
that entrance.
Collectively destroyed this segment.
It was terrible. I mean, it was
the IWC agrees on nothing, but the IWC agreed that this segment was terrible.
It was terrible. So it started.
I'm going to be in
like,
the Jerry Janela group on this one and be like, I was into it.
It was okay because they like interrupted. God, who'd they interrupt? Anyway, whatever.
Doesn't even matter.
They interrupted a segment, but then like. It fully broke down into super cringe like rap music video, and it was like, "Oh God, are we gonna do this? We're gonna do this whole thing." And they left like, "Yeah, we back, and they were like so excited. And I was like, "You just put on a terrible segment. Like this was you should not have done this. You should have said no." I don't know who told you.
Executives are calling Vince at home, and they're like, "Hey, motherfucker, what's your kids doing, man?
Like, don't let them do this. This is bad." And it was so bad.
No way.
It was so bad.
Does anybody know what yesterday is?
Tom, Gobbledygook versus Hit Row entrance segment. Which one do you want?
It wasn't the entrance. Gobbledygooker every time.
Service of suspense.
Nice.
This just went on. Like that was the problem. It wasn't so much that like this like when they were like, "You got to get out of the ring." I don't even remember who was there because this was so bad it's burned into my brain. They were like, "We got a music video to film. in this ring for the next 3.5 minutes. And we're going to kind of half lip sync, half yell. Wow, it was so bad. It was so bad.
They were not lip syncing. They were doing the damn thing.
I don't know what. Okay, it was.
They were the whole fucking show.
Gonna do my split. What's up?
It was so bad.
24/7 title. What's up?
It was so bad.
Hey, 24/7 title is gone. Like it's just.
Dana Brooke didn't even have it this week. Did she?
Dana Brooke made an experience. That must not have made it to Hulu. That's when you know that you're not over. Whenever you get cut out of the Hulu segments, and Raw cuts you out of their show entirely whenever it goes to Hulu. You're not over.
Watching that 1:30 on Hulu on Raw, dude. Like, there was so much bad shit. I was watching fucking Hulu every week. Sometimes Tom come in here and talk about something, and I'd be like,
yeah.
No,
on Hulu.
Hulu.
They didn't put that on Hulu. That was bad. They're not going to put this. If this segment, if they cut SmackDown and put it on Hulu, they wouldn't put this segment on Hulu.
No.
Yeah, SmackDown's always full though.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that on Raw though? Was that not Raw?
No.
August 20th. August 20th was 1,200 episodes of SmackDown?
No, August 20th, 2021. Does anybody know what that is?
No, sir.
That was the day that CM Punk made his triumphant return to professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw something like that. Hey, that's been something, hasn't it? That's been 900,000 viewers for a whole fucking year.
So Here we go. 1 year ago began the best year of my professional career. Too many great moments, not enough space to post all the great pictures. Rekindled passion, made new friends, reunited with some old ones. Can't stop smiling, won't stop until the wheels fall off. Thank you most of all to all of the fans who made it possible. I'm having the time of my life as there's a drive into deep left field by Castellanos, and that'll be a home run, so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. Doesn't really sound like the words of a man that's unhappy with his stance in professional wrestling.
But it sure sounds
like a man doesn't really give a shit. He's fine.
Man,
I don't believe all the stuff they've been talking about. I understand there was probably some words between him and Colt Cabana previously. I think it's ridiculous that both of them as grown men can't obviously get over this and just shake hands and let's at least work professionally. Because I actually saw on the internet today that was brought up that was a contentious point between himself and Tony Khan whenever it came to his contract and how all that worked, and he was trying to walk out. But CM Punk, guys,
what a mess. So do you remember the Triple H promo from forever ago?
I do.
Where Triple H buries him and is like, yeah, maybe half of these people agree with you. And can WWE get better? Yeah, probably. However, these people like wrestling. And you say you're a voice of the people, but you know what? You're only a voice of the people when it puts you at the top. At least I was honest. I told everybody I'm going to step on you on my way to the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, and he called CM Punk a martyr.
He did.
Yeah, that was a great quote. It was on my Facebook feed actually this week too.
And I think that we're just seeing the same thing. And I mean, I think Hangman Adam Page has kind of echoed the sentiment. Obviously, not in the ballsy way that he's clearly a. God, how do you become a professional wrestler but kind of be like an anxious millennial all at the same time?
Because you taught high school before you came.
Yeah, how does that right? But I understand. I understand. But how do you you make it to the top of a card, but also kind of be this guy that's got to fucking hate conflict? Really? You punch people in the face for a living now? You literally you're supposed to kind of half punch them. So it's really it's a weird conundrum. And Adam Page is literally the only guy that's been kind of the stalwart protector of AEW. And so if you put Adam Page's promo, because that's the best promo Adam Page ever gave. when he was out there just railing against CM Punk. That's the only thing he ever did as a champion that had any like real heart or purpose in it. It was like if he'd have come out and been able to do that every week, that'd have been one thing. But he fucking hates this guy. So he was the only guy he was able to come out there and be like, fuck you, this is my home, you don't get to come here and trash my house, yada yada yada, whatever else he said. But it's just like, and that apparently is the catalyst for like, because nobody knew Punk was going to call out Adam Page this week, and Adam Page gets called out this week, and when that all happens, like he's, you know, now we got Punk like kind of trying to back it up and like, you know, but it's one of those things where it's just like I don't know what's going on backstage. I don't know what they're trying to do storyline wise. Clearly there's nobody behind. Jesus take the wheel. No, there's no Jesus. There's
just Chris Jericho.
There's no God in AEW. Maybe it's Chris Jericho, maybe it's not. And it's just it's ridiculous. It's becoming a ridiculous sort of like hodgepodge off the rails like this. You're right. I mean, we had said that it's WCW. This kind of starts to feel like, you know, when Hulk Hogan won with the finger poke of doom and then walked out with the title. Like,
so like 40 minutes ago, right? Jackie Melinda in chat said, hey, it feels like Hulk Hogan and Creative crying over not being world champion. If he hates the promo because he doesn't get over in it, CM Punk is crying like Hulk Hogan in WCW. I think that he's drawn a lot of comparisons to WCW Hulk Hogan in this week, right? And a lot of the talent, though, has come out and been like, hey, man, like, he's fine. Like, but then, you know, they're saying that he you know, went into business for himself on Wednesday when he called out Adam Page. Like, he wasn't supposed to do that. Like,
no,
the Adam Page shit's behind him, right? And what the fuck is going on? You know,
you're going to be the guy that actually calls him out by name. You're not going to be the guy that puts your name out there as well. Well, so of course everybody's sitting there saying, "Yeah, he's a great guy backstage."
But at the same time, what's the point of like so he calls Adam Page out by name. What's Adam Page going to do? Is he going to walk out there and go into business for himself and confront him? Like, what's that going to do? That doesn't win anybody because like they're not even going to book these guys to be in the next city together because of how bloated this roster is.
He came across as way more professional anyway because he didn't go out there. Otherwise, he'd have blew up whatever they had planned already.
I mean, it's just it feels like a train wreck over there, and it's really hard to see because like they were rolling pretty good, and then they hurt everybody because everybody was doing stupid things. And again, I'm going to bring up they had the fucking audacity to come out and be like, Jeff Hardy's not allowed to wrestle again until he undergoes treatment and blah blah blah. Like, this is your fucking fault. This is your bed with a shit in the middle of it, and you're trying not to sleep in your bed that everybody is shit in. And
calm down, Amber.
But it's exactly.
I don't think it's like that at all.
No, it's their fault. They're trying to like dodge the bullet. It's abs. Oh my god, it's abs.
Then how is it not their fault, Derek?
How is it not their fault?
I'm sorry. How is it not Jeff Hardy's fault?
Jeff Hardy is a crazy individual who will do whatever they let him to do.
Yeah, are you telling me that I don't give a shit if I'm trying to make $1 million company and I'm Tony Khan and you come up to me and like I'm gonna jump off the thing up there, bro, and I'm gonna go down here.
No.
Okay. Whatever, dude.
This guy because you're paying.
I mean, let me get you another ambulance because I'm guessing you're gonna need one, and then I need one for insurance purposes over here.
No, because you're paying this guy.
I don't care.
This guy to be on your weekly program, and now,
well, now he ain't.
Right,
and he's still getting a paycheck.
And he's still getting a paycheck, and that's your fault.
Well, that makes Matt Hardy happy, and it keeps Rebby off my ass on Twitter.
No, but that's the problem. That's the thing, because Jeff still signed a multi-million-dollar deal, and Jeff's going to get that money because that's a contract, okay? He's going to get that money, and he's going to get that money whether he's on TV or not.
Yeah, because AEW doesn't release it.
You know what I'm doing right now is I'm going to Jeff and I'm like, you ever thought of playing tight end? We got this shitty football team down here, and Florida. We think you might be able to make an impact as maybe wide receiver, tight end. What do you think, Jeff? All the pain pills you can ever imagine. You ready? We'll shoot you up with them right there on the sidelines.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Can you get him out of here? Can you just like I'm that was see, you criticized, you were like, oh, it was stupid. What I said earlier was stupid, but like
I'm so mad.
That was so stupid.
Like
I am blindsided.
Like what the fuck is wrong with you?
Seriously, like get help. Get help.
Like anyways, so like all of this CM Punk shit, right? Like all of these shenanigans. Did you see it coming?
Yeah, because Adam Page said it was coming. And oh my god, here we are. It's like CM Punk. Did I say this before? Hold on. I've said it before. If everywhere you go smells like shit, check your shoe. CM Punk's shoes, shitty shoes. Because it's him. It's him. If you are the common denominator in all of your unhappiness, it's fucking you. And
boss
you
time.
Is it boss time? If yes, and if it's you need to change something about yourself. It's not everybody else. If you're unhappy everywhere you go,
bro, he's the world champion. What's he got to be unhappy about?
Right? For fuck's sake. What does he have to be unhappy about?
Isn't that what you want when you make your triumphant return, Derek? I mean, isn't this what you guys wanted?
Hold on. I just gotta get this out. Not only did he become the world champion, like when he got hurt and could not defend said world title, they didn't even strip him of it. They were like, well, we'll have an interim. An interim.
And then they put it on the guy that should have been the champion in the first place.
What happened when Finn Balor was the first ever Universal Champion? What happened?
He dislocated his shoulder on a buckle bomb into the corner, popped it back in place, finished the match, had surgery, vacated the championship.
Absolutely. So, CM Punk broke his little footsie. Oh, my footsie, I broke it. I broke my footsie. And then he had to go away because his footsie was broke. Oh no, he had a difficult time coming back because he's a fucking old man. But no, he didn't have to vacate his title. Never had to vacate his title at all. In fact, they put it on the other WWE guy who was.
We got Salty Tom this week.
Yes, you have Salty Tom this week.
We didn't get sweet CM Punk Tom this week. That was last week.
You got Chick Magnet Phil. Did you know that CM stands for Chick Magnet?
No, that's why he's for Chicago made.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I know. It's the fucking thing, guys. Like, come
Chick
on.
Magnet Phil. Anyway,
everybody always wanted to know what the CM stood for. A bunch of fan theory. Like, I know he said it's Chick Magnet. God.
Anyway, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. So absolutely ridiculous. This interim title shit is so ridiculous.
Stop.
It's one of those things that, like, how do you kill your business so fast? Oh, I know. You have interim titles in addition to having Ring of Honor titles and fucking like does everybody need a belt now? Everybody gets a belt. Here you go. Hey, welcome. Here's a belt. You're the fucking dick for hire fucking champion. Hey, you're the fat shithead title champion. Hey, 24/7. That's you. You're the Ring of Honor pure. What the fuck is that? You're the Ring of Honor TV champion. You're the Ring of Honor world champion. Ring of Honor is not really a thing.
Derek. Hey,
everybody's wearing gold.
Hey, we're doing a podcast here.
We're about to have a trios. We're about to have a trios champion. There's going to be 3 people with a title, which means they have to defend it against 3 other people who don't have belts on them. But that's not going to happen either. This is the dumbest thing. Like, AEW has literally booked itself into a hole of like championships don't matter. We don't have superstars or wrestlers that matter because we literally can't put them on a show week to week to continue their own personal story because there's just too many people here. I don't want to watch anymore. Like, and now they're like, I just don't want to watch. I just don't because it's like, and then let's forget the women. Like,
What
God,
the hell happened on Dynamite that irritated you so much in 7 days?
They didn't follow up on a single goddamn thing that happened the week before. Not a single thing. But Kenny Omega's back. Hi. Hey, here's a guy who hasn't been here that wasn't eating up TV time. Hey, look. Now, you know what we need to do? We need to give Kenny Omega TV time. Not that we had TV time to give anybody, but here's Kenny Omega. In a weird black shirt. Like, it was weird. I'm not weirded. I'm weirded out by it. And he took really bad bumps. Like, he took bumps that were like, man, you're gonna take this guy who was maybe kind of hurt, and you're just gonna like throw him over this shitty barricade you have into the crowd. Like, it just, this is a clusterfuck of bullshit, is what this is. And there's nobody behind the wheel, and this is just careening into like fucking barricades and like this is a drunk driver on New Year's Eve just careening.
You can't say that.
This is what this is. That's what this looks like to me right now.
Don't understand. I just don't.
They're going to drop.
We got here.
Their rating is going to drop again because it's so hard to like want them to do well because they weren't doing well, and then they're just like, wait. What if I took a huge dump right in the middle of everything and just made it garbage? What if we just put out garbage instead? How about that? Instead of good wrestling, let's just make garbage and let's throw garbage at these people. Maybe these people really like garbage. I don't like garbage, so I'm probably not going to watch until somebody tells me, hey, they stopped throwing garbage at your fucking eyeballs. Oh, okay, maybe I'll pick it up at that point. But like, this is like, we've hit the point where like, I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care. And that makes me upset because I cared for a minute and joke's on me.
Jesus gravity. What the hell just that?
I don't even know how to unpack all that. Like, please don't cut to me and act like, oh, Derek, what do you have to say about that? Because that's not going to fucking happen.
Okay, listen.
That was like 13, 14 minutes of just straight trashing everything I love.
Yeah, but you yourself in this episode said, I'm starting to agree with you boys.
Well, but it's not what it could be. It's not what it should be. They don't build up to anything. They are hot shotting a fuck ton of stuff. You can look at the WCW thing of how we did, Goldberg and pick a fucking guy for the championship.
Diamond Dallas Page.
Okay, so not specifically this match between CM Punk and Jon Moxley for the unification title does not need to happen on free TV. I'm not certain why it is happening on free TV.
Oh, dude, bro, you didn't hear? Like, All Out, man. Yeah.
All Out's going to be so good. Oh, did you hear? Maybe they're going to bring MJF back. Where the fuck is MJF? God fuck.
It doesn't fucking matter. I don't want it to fail, and I feel like you guys are both just sitting here hoping it fails. And that's the bullshit wrestling audience in you. That's fine.
Hold on. Stop.
But no, fuck you, dude. You've talked for like 30 minutes.
I just want you to say, I just want to say to you, I don't want it to fail. I, in fact, want the opposite.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
They're like careening
towards failure. We've lived here.
They're just careening toward failure. And it's like one of those things where like, fucking stop. Like, stop. Like, that's the main, the point of my rant was stop careening toward failure.
Tom, let me explain it to him.
Whatever you had to say.
Let me explain it to him. Okay. Derek, what Tom's trying to explain to you, okay? And now I'm talking just to you here, okay? Nobody loved going back and watching old WCW Nitros like you, right? Like, you're like the Bischoff guy.
No one loves it like I love it. I got you.
Okay, listen. Yeah. And that's why you feel this way, because you watched it happen. 2000.
Yeah.
Start to really just
WCW had a special spot in my heart, man.
99, they were doing this, right?
Yeah.
And we just talked about AEW's doing this, right?
They're
That
doing
was
that.
that was in 1999, and then in 2000, and then in 2001, there's no more WCW.
They're not on the chart anymore. It's down here. You can't even see your
Okay.
hand anymore. It's down here.
You've been here already, bud. You
Yeah.
see it you've seen it happen, and you're watching it happen in front of you, and you just don't want it to go away.
Why do you
That's
think I
where
buy all
Tom and
that
I are at
merchandise
right
whenever we go to the shows? Because I know it's not going to last.
He's tried so hard. Derek's the only person.
Derek's just buying everything. Like, can I max this out, please?
Buys all the t-shirts.
Here-
Please hire the people. Don't fire them. Please.
Here's my closing thoughts on this, right? None of us want AEW to go anywhere at all.
No.
We all want to see it succeed.
Yes.
But until Tony Khan takes control of the booking instead of, hey, you guys just go out there and fill 12 minutes. Okay? We're not gonna see that survival, because a lot of what Tom talks about is a lot of dumb shit that AEW does. Not necessarily just throwing each other off of tall things. I know you enjoy that part of it, right? But like the dumb things, like where 65 fucking people are standing in the ring and nobody knows why, right? Or like trying to fill a bunch of TV time with a superstar like Kenny Omega is going to command when you already don't have enough TV time for all these guys that you're paying a ton of money that you brought in while he was gone, right? There's just a lot of bad decisions that are being made, seemingly, to the fan, from the fan perspective, right? From a segment of the fans, okay, where it's just not good, and it's not gonna get any better. We hope that it does, but we've seen this before. And we know where this road's going. That's really what it comes down to.
Look, when if you don't think Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are crude enough business people to purchase AEW and their 2 years of back tape for like, I don't know, $6 million, for which is nothing, which is fucking nothing. They'll get it. They'll get a bunch.
Absolutely do it.
They would do it. They would put all that on. They would put all those pay-per-views right onto the network. It wouldn't even, because it's not even that much. It's not even that much time. It's like 3 years. It's not even that. They would put it right on the network. They would keep people the Triple H like. They'd keep Samoa Joe. They'd keep Cesaro. They'd keep, we'd see Dean Ambrose back again. Hell, maybe he'd even get to stay John Moxley. Jericho, they'd be like, fuck you. I'll see you later. Same thing with CM Punk. CM Punk would like he would have to just quit and leave. And that would be the case. They would fire all of those people, and they would just jerk off all they do, because it would be so cathartic for them. It'd be, fuck Chris Jericho. Oh God.
Chris Jericho has been on WWE TV in the last 12 months. So just remember that.
But still, they'd be like, fuck Chris Jericho.
I will say this though, Derek.
Daniel Garcia and fucking Wheeler Yuta would probably become a tag team that gets smashed by the Viking Raiders for a couple weeks, and then they get released. That would happen.
Derek, I would like to say something to you that's going to put your heart at ease about my feelings, right? And then we're going to go into match of the week.
Yeah.
The network is going to give up on AEW long before Tony Khan does.
For sure.
And that is the fact of the matter.
That's coming. I mean, they're already giving up on HBO, unlike the HBO Max stuff. Like that stuff's already getting gutted. So
yeah, I could see him partnering with Billy Corgan, and they can combine the NWA and AEW, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
And Ring of Honor.
So he's gonna keep on doing what got him off of television in the first place.
Yeah.
Heard.
All right. Thanks.
All right, Tom, what's your match of the week, bud?
So weirdly enough, I have it was from Rampage. actually, and it was Swerve. It was Swerve in Your Glory. What's their name? Swerve in the Glory.
Swerve in his glory.
Swerve in His Glory versus Private Party. Because they smashed these motherfuckers. Keith Lee pounced, whichever one of those guys it is.
Like a
Holy
bear cat.
I thought this man was gonna die. Swerve and Keith Lee are literally like highlight reel machines. And they smashed Private Party, who I fucking hate. Fuck Private Party. And Keith Lee and Swerve smashed these motherfuckers on Rampage. And it was great. It went exactly, it was booked exactly the way that it ought to have been booked. My runner-up, though, is the women's tag match that we kicked off SmackDown with Toxic Attraction versus Natty and oh god,
Tamina.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Tamina.
It was.
No, I don't even know.
It wasn't Aaliyah either. I don't even remember. I just watched it too.
Oh my god. Oh my.
Natty is just a balloon of her former self. Like every body part is just ballooned out with silicone. It's bad.
So much boobies. Her boobies and her face hurt.
Yeah.
Sonya Deville. It was Natty and Sonya.
Yeah, Sonya Deville. There we go.
Dude, that sucks. That sucks because like she used to be like a premier character that we talked about every single week, and then we couldn't even remember she was in a wrestling match.
Oh god, that's real bad. We all fucked. Sonya fucked us all over there. Anyway, so that match particularly was tremendous, not because of the in-ring action per se. Oh, that was very, very adequate match. Everything happening around said match with Bayley and Dakota Kai and Io Sky and Michael Cole.
So basically, the announce team entertained you more than the match did.
Well, but this is the like. It's like the culmination. It's the sum of the parts greater than the whole.
Oh, it's the whole dish. The whole dish.
Yeah, this is the match that like the sum of the parts is greater than the whole.
I see.
Especially JC Jane in this, who came out looking like a star. A fucking star.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. You can't use the star. Nah.
I can use whatever the fuck I want, all right? But no,
that's another thing AEW is fucking up is Ricky Starks. They're making him white bread again.
No, they are starting to use him a little bit more and go fuck yourself. I don't want to even talk about that now. Go on.
Anyway, so those two matches, to me, there were two really good tag matches to watch, and they were sort of under the radar, and they kind of kicked off shows. But to me, those were sort of like the matches of the week because it really like, it showcased where like they kind of let superstars do their own thing and let you show who the stars were, and the stars shined really brightly. I felt like Swerve in His Glory, the stars shined really brightly, and then also on the Toxic Attraction versus Natty and Sonya Deville. Stars
so
shined really
AEW
brightly.
with good in-ring storytelling is what Tom just said.
Yeah, I feel like nobody really thought much about it, and Keith Lee and Swerve are actually better at their jobs than most other people in AEW, and it really worked out pretty good.
That makes
Derek.
sense. So this is easy. I definitely had...
Wait. Stop. So Tom, I just want you to know, okay? I already know what this match of the week is, and I cannot wait. I am so excited. Like, so excited. You have no idea how excited I am. Like, I should have brought some popcorn.
All right. Well, now then, go ahead. And I'll let Derek finish.
I legitimately hate 2 out of 3 falls matches. I do, because it's obviously very predictable. Rarely, if ever, do you have a 2 falls and it's over match. It's always 1-1. We go into the last fall. We're going to see what's going to happen. But this week, Daniel Garcia, Bryan Danielson, 2 out of 3 falls match. I was watching this live, texting with Walt. I don't know if I was in the group. I think I was just on text message with Walt, saying this is the match of the week. This is fucking awesome. These guys both, obviously we know Bryan Danielson can put it down. Daniel Garcia showed a whole new level of He worked as the Dragon Killer. He worked on his level. It was great. It was great. And fuck you, Tom, if you think otherwise. This makes no sense. Like, there's no way you can sit here and cut this down and say other. Like, gosh, Daniel Garcia. He went up a couple notches right there. He hung with the best. Fantastic match of the week. Let's go to Tom, and so he can shit all over it.
Daniel Garcia was the least interesting man in that room, and that was a really big room.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the match.
There were a lot of people in that room, and Daniel Garcia was the least interesting one of all of them. That match, I guess it was fine. They sure seemed to like to hold each other. They sure seemed to like to hold each other a lot. Derek, would you like it? I could hold you a bunch though, and it would
Some
probably
prom pictures.
it would probably be more interesting if I held you and caressed you. It would probably be a more interesting match than that was, because that match was a snooze fest.
Wow.
Good Christ. I mean, I loves me some Bryan Danielson, but God, I could not have given less shits about this.
I was seriously sitting in my living room live texting, being like, this is the fucking shit. Like, this.
It was so like, who fucking cares? Like, why would I care? Who fucking
I don't need to care. What are they? Look at what they're doing in the ring. The dance they're performing in the ring is what I care about.
Okay, they dance pretty. I don't fucking care. Maybe they should have put on they should have both wore Backstreet Boys outfits and be like, Backstreet's back.
You are right. My fire, the one desire.
So is that all we got?
That's all I got.
Yeah,
I don't have any more fire for that. It was just I couldn't have been more bored by that.
We should probably copyright that just in case. I'm probably going to get hit on a copyright strike for that one.
That was it was so close.
I'm glad you understood what I was talking about.
That was probably the most boring match that has happened in AEW since CM Punk versus Dustin Rhodes.
Fuck off.
That was the most that was the most boring match that's happened since then. So they really ought to all decide that. Hey guys, what happens if instead of putting on these fucking mark matches, we actually put on a match where there's people who are over, because Daniel Garcia isn't even over with his mother. Maybe we just have people that are over wrestle each other for actual stakes, instead of this just fucking boring oh, he's the Dragon Killer. Daniel Bryan's been hurt for a fucking month. Oh, and now he gets to. Okay, good. Oh, good. Oh, hey, they held each other a lot. Somebody fucking hold me, okay? Maybe if they held me, it would be a little bit different. But you know what? It was hey, the least interesting man in their room, and that place had a lot of people in the room because it was a fucking arena. Yeah, the least interesting man in the room versus Bryan Danielson. Okay. All right, it was fine. It was a great. Hey guys, this is a wrestling training school, and this was a great wrestling training school match. However, I think I passed out in the middle of it just because of how fucking boring it was.
See, I like a good technical wrestling match, bud. I don't understand necessarily what I'm trying to figure out what your beef is here.
Daniel Garcia is boring. He's the most boring man in America.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. He doesn't ooze charisma.
I'm not going to disagree that Daniel Bryan or that Daniel Garcia is the most boring man in America.
But
good God, his last name is
not
Garcia.
even his mother finds him interesting.
He needs to figure out
his last name is
guys
Garcia.
that needs to be more of himself than trying to be somebody else. And
maybe
linked up with Jericho, he's trying to be somebody else.
I mean, I don't know who he is personally, but his everything he showed me thus far, whether it's pre-Jericho or post-Jericho, has been the most boring man in the room. And it's not even that good of it. He's like Toby from The Office, but less
Timmy
good.
makes good chili.
I don't know what that means.
Okay,
He
good.
make good chili. That's all he does good.
No, that was Kevin.
Oh, that was Kevin. He was in accounting. Yeah.
See,
sorry.
you don't even fucking know who Toby is.
Well, fuck
Okay.
you. I know who Toby is. He's got the sucking in eyes. Anyway, move on.
Well,
But he
yeah.
is.
I'm just the one to move on.
Yeah. Well, what do you got?
My match of the week was Kevin Owens versus Drew McIntyre.
That was really good, actually. Yeah.
All right.
I know we talked about it on last week's show because last week's show was on Wednesday, but like
Kind of blood into
technically in the One Fall WrestleCast week, it's still
In canon, it's still in canon.
yes.
That was a nice
And,
cop out. Good job.
Great fucking match. It was a cop out. It was a cop. I was honest.
I'm not about the
beginning.
match. I'm not about the
I
match.
didn't watch much wrestling this week. Didn't have a lot of time.
I had to pee.
Okay.
I'm really excited to watch Raw tomorrow, actually. So,
Oh yeah, it's Sunday.
my shit might have. I may be like gushing over Raw, like whenever we like get to it, like next week. I'll be like, guys, did you watch Raw? I know Raw's on like right now, but did you watch it last week? Holy crap, it was so good, guys. Oh my god. And that's how I anticipate being. I also anticipate being like you being like, oh, but what about AEW? And I'm like, I didn't watch it because I'm just not interested anymore. Maybe if they tell me Adam Cole's coming back and like he's cleared to wrestle and like at the whole Undisputed Era, because that's what they are now. They are the Undisputed Era. Yeah, okay, the Undisputed Era is back, and Adam Cole's going to be on TV for the next 6 weeks. Like they need to almost promise me that they're gonna give me what I want for like a continued time span, because they like continue to like put something out there that I'm like, I want this, and then like none of it happens. So like they need to almost promise me that like Adam Cole's back, Undisputed Era's back, Samoa Joe's back, and they will be on the show for the next 6 weeks plus. They almost need to tell me that. They need to tell me
know what AEW did to you in a fucking 7-day time span. Not even 7 days. It's like 4 days, 5 days.
I can tell you in
Wednesday you were in here talking about how great fucking CM Punk coming back and this and that and the other. And
I will tell you.
like,
I will tell you. I will tell you exactly.
Where did they touch you?
I will tell you exactly what they did to me. They got me hopeful for future storylines, and they did the exact same thing they do every fucking time. And the next episode is like an episode of The Simpsons, where last week didn't happen, and now it's a whole new ball game because nothing matters. Nothing means nothing. In the words of the Macho Man, nothing means nothing. And that's how AEW runs its shows. So I am done being bamboozled. AEW is off my watch list. So I will be watching Raw and SmackDown, maybe NXT this week. If you ask me what happens on AEW, I'm not going to know because I didn't watch, because it wasn't worth my time. So maybe at some point it'll become worth my time again, but I will be one less of those 950,000 viewers. So now they've got one less viewer because they're done wasting my time for the time being.
Hashtag Tom hates AEW.
Well, they're done wasting my time. Close it up.
I mean,
I'm done with these motherfuckers. I'm done with these motherfuckers.
Thanks for explaining. I've sat here and spent the last 45 minutes trying to figure out what they did to disappoint you in a 5-day span. Like,
there you go. That's it.
I'm proud of you, pal. Thanks for getting that out. But
done watching.
Sorry that like.
Wake me up when it doesn't suck anymore.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, if you're watching us on YouTube, you know that we exist. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hey, if you're still here, please hit the like button. We appreciate it. Check us out over on social media at @1_FallWC. That's ONE. That's Twitter and Instagram. The Gramsels. The Gram.
Do we post on that shit?
Tweeter.
We post there? Is that a thing? Does that happen?
I do. I post on Instagram. I don't know if the Twitter guy does any
Look at
Twitter
this.
work.
Look at this high
We've
roller.
even
with his
posted the
Marlboros.
audios.
Look at this high
Yeah.
roller with the Marlboros. Look at this guy. Look at this
Do
guy.
people not smoke Marlboros?
I mean, what are they, like $8 a pack now? Like,
Yeah.
There's
Look
6
at-
in the holler.
look at this guy. Look at this guy. High roller here.
Anyways, with all
I
that
mean,
being
if I'm gonna
said,
die, I'm gonna die in
thanks for
style.
hanging out.
Like this.
It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.